Welcome to another segment of ACRP TV, our spotlight today on leveraging patient groups to improve clinical trials. We've got two special guests with us today. Jena Daniels is the Director of Research at Medable and the head of an exciting thing called the Patient Advisory Council that we're going to talk about in just a second. And Allison Holland is with us. She's the head of Decentralized clinical trials at Medable. Obviously with decentralized trials, a lot of patient issues there too. Let me ask you right off the bat, patient centricity is a term that is bandied about a lot. It means a lot of different things to different people. Sometimes it can be just a buzzword. What does patient centricity mean to you? Ali, let's start with you. Just briefly, what do you mean when you're talking about patient centricity?
For me, it's about giving patients choices about how they choose to participate in a clinical trial. So not mandating that everything happens decentralized in a remote location, but allowing patients choices and options about when it's safe and effective for them to have the ability to participate in some or all of the study activities in a remote location if they choose. As convenient as we have with our mobile banking and shopping on our phones, being able to engage in our healthcare choices, for me, is one of the ways in which we can make decentralized trials patient-centric.
Jena, what are your thoughts?
That's great. And so to piggyback off of what Ali said is being able to build into the protocol design and development really early on. That to me is where the patient centricity also really begins. So being able to give that optionality and that choice to the patients. So exactly what Ali's saying, and taking it to the very beginning. So adding in patient voice and perspective from protocol design and development and procedures, thinking about from the consent form process, how can we make sure that information is shared in a way that's digestible and easy to access? And then really thinking about from the study expectations and procedures, what truly makes sense right from the get-go. So that way in the end and in the solution, patients really do have that opportunity to make those choices that are best and right for them and for their particular situation.
One of the reasons I'm excited to talk to both of you guys is Medable was such on the cutting edge and doing some interesting things. But as I said at the outset, patient centricity sometimes becomes buzzword. You are doing something very tangible, this Patient Advisory Council. Jena, talk to us about what that is. It's got some real nuts and bolts aspects to it.
Yeah, so the Patient Advisory Council is a network of diverse patients, advocates, and caregivers that help to really embed and amplify that patient voice in everything that we do, in the DNA of our products and the DNA of our UAT and solutions and communication, and just thinking about from a really patient-driven, patient-focused approach, how can we engage with individuals who want to get involved, like I said, in those early opportunities to provide, and to provide that voice of those patients that we're targeting. So thinking about from, for example, our televisit solution, making sure that we include the patient voice in those mock-ups and those designs and development and those emails and content, and really making sure that we're adjusting as needed based off of the feedback. And so, it's been a really exciting effort with the PAC, the Patient Advisory Council, because we do meet probably 3-ish times a week and roughly about an hour each of those meetings. Ali can attest to this. She's been part of several calls this week and it's only Tuesday. So I think that the opportunity for us to really hear that patient journey, that patient perspective, and bring those conversations in early and often for strategy and for design and development and UAT and all that kind of stuff is really helpful for making sure that what we're delivering really is patient-centric and patient-proven.
Well, that's one of the exciting things about this, because you guys are rolling up your sleeves and sitting down and listening to patients, which sounds obvious, but we don't often do it. We say we should talk, what do patients think, but you've got to sit down and engage them. Ali, talk about your hopes for the future of this PAC and how you think this might strengthen the patient centricity movement and take it beyond buzzword.
Yeah, as Jena said, it's really an active task for us on a daily basis. And so we see results coming from that. You know, we have recruited an ophthalmic study with an older patient population, and we managed to bring over 9,000 patients onto our platform into a decentralized trial because their experience was intuitive to them and it worked and it had been designed for them to use. We have other studies running and collectively looking at over 90% patient satisfaction ratings of using the applications, which for us in clinical trials where we're trying to engage patients and improve their participation experience in a clinical trial is really key, because we want to keep people engaged for the long term. Some of these studies run over many, many years, and we don't want this to be something that's done at the start of the study and then wanes during. So really seeing that voice of our pack coming through and advising us on that long-term engagement strategy. And then hopefully what we're seeing across the industry is that continued application of decentralized trial capabilities onto many prospective protocols right now to give patients those choices, and that we can make those choices really centered around the cultural fit, the life cycle fit, the lifestyle fit of different individuals and different patients to accommodate those choices, because no two studies are the same and no two patients are the same about what they want to experience in the clinical trial. So having that flexibility is really key, and that's where we hugely value the diverse voice of our patient advisory council and how we can incorporate their feedback into the designs.
This is exciting. I really want to thank you both for sharing the story with us. It's inspiring. I hope for others it might serve as some inspiration too, because obviously when you get down to it, this is about patients. I mean, it's patients first and patient centricity. So this has been ACRP TV Spotlight on leveraging patient groups to improve clinical trials. I want to thank Jena Daniels and Allison Holland for joining us again. Thank you two both so much for this, and we'd love to check in with you again down the line and see what kind of impact it's having.
That'd be great. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.